Good morning, retail traders. This is a sneaky snake trading strategy. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell. And if you like this video, make a few comments down below. Tell me what you think about Tesla. If you have a special support area that you're looking at, and I'll take a gander and look at it at myself. But I love Tesla. It's one of my favorite stocks to trade. It has a real nice profit margin when you are trading it in the option land. And this is the website that I pull up, and also want to bring it straight to the news. I like being in the now, reading what they've got to say about Tesla. I just kind of run over the news. Tesla and Argo all setbacks, momentum for deliveries in tech. I don't know. Some of them headlines I just don't get. Dogecoin surges after Elon Musk's takeover deal of Twitter. That's a big catalyst for this thing to go ahead and have a breakout too, I think. Elon Musk is probably one of my favorite CEOs of all time. We got a little bit of war going on between General Motors and Elon Musk on Twitter. Fat cats, you know, they're not always positive about Elon and Tesla. They hardly ever have anything good to say about them. Some of them do. Some of them really like it and been upgrading the stock. And then we've had just a shitty year this year with inflation and the supply chain. But I think Elon has that all mastered out pretty good. China has issues. That's my biggest worry right now with Tesla. If China does something stupid, because they probably want to promote some of their EV cars. Then I've read something about the Germany plant here. They're going to expand an electric car plant in Germany. They clear out a few trees to get that thing going. It's a beautiful plant out there. Also, I think Elon said that he thinks that this is going to be worth more than Apple and another Saudi Arabia company, which is exciting. I'm excited about that too. New Twitter development. Twitter competitor GM pauses ads. Musk creates a moderation council. So he went in there and brought in the kitchen sink. He's cleaning house on Twitter, which I think is a real good thing. We know that they've been censoring a lot of GOP views. They're definitely got very political here lately. A lot of liberals are wanting to leave the Twitter platform, which go for it. Bye-bye. Don't let the door kick you in the ass. We just got to learn to get along. That's all we got to do. So we're going to go straight to the Tesla chart. We created a Darvis box for about 2 weeks in this trade here. We found a solid support at 204.23 where we touched down 4 different times. And then she also has hit resistance levels in that Darvis box, which is right around the 229.86 area. So that's the resistance that we got to break. And if we can bounce above it and break this 233.68, we got a Darvis box leading out with an ascending triangle breakout. So we come in Monday, we could get a nice run on this for a couple of days until Wednesday hits, and then pull back and try to find some kind of new support area, consolidate in a new channel above this Darvis box. That or it will pull back and bounce off the 200 SMA on the 1 hour time frame. But I've got a long target on this to 250, 255, which is right up in here, on the 20-day high at 255.34. If we do pull back, I will play the knife on this stock and run it back up and hit my moving averages. The sneaky snake trading strategy is all about chart patterns, using the moving averages that I have on this chart and being in the now and looking for candlestick patterns when we come in here at open. For example, I pull up the 1 minute, come in here Friday, and we had that real hard sell-off. It created a snake. So I draw my trend lines out. Once that 9 starts to cross the 21, I'd start to get ambitious in the trade. We'll draw the snake out for here, for example, on how I like to trade this trade. So there's your snake. Once that 9 crossed the pivot point inside the channel, across the 21, this is the 9 EMA and the 21 SMA, we had a nice little breakout of these two engulfing candles. Now I tell everybody that takes this trade not to chase it. If you don't get in, early, and you're not spotting the reversal candles that are coming into this trade, like right in here, for example, we had a nice little hammer. Once that 9 crossed that 21, that was a nice little spot to get into this trade right here. And once that happened, she started respecting that 9. Then we had those two engulfing candles. But we did have a nice little breakout on it. And I never tell anybody to chase this trade. She did pull back, and you could have got in a good opportunity off the 50 SMA and then run it up to the 200 like I did. That's exactly how I traded this trade. I got in it right once it broke that 9 crossed the 21, and I took it and run it up, and I got out of the trade, came back in, hit that 50, run it up to the 200, got out of the trade, and then we pulled back and hit this trend line. And the rest of the day was just sweet and merry. I went out, even got a haircut, and held this stock because I felt that confident in this trade Friday. Because everything else was just running fine, great. I mean, all them earnings plays that we talked about all had nice little bounces. Meta, Amazon, then you had Google, had a nice little bounce. I think they were just waiting for the finishing up of them earnings that came out, Amazon and Microsoft. And then Meta, I don't know, Meta can still hold down here, but it's eventually going to run up and bounce and also get back up here to that 120 area. But there's quite a few people that made money on holding on to the puts. I know a guy that made $100,000 on it, scalped it overnight. Then I know someone else that held it for a very long time, made almost $775,000 on it. His name is X Wall Street, and I talked about that in that last video. So we got the Fed speakers coming out this week. They're going to raise the probably interest rates to 75 basis points, and if they do call out 50, this market's going to have one hell of a run. One hell of a run. And I still think it's already, this is just my opinion, and I've been saying it. Everything's just my opinion, and I have a good gut about things like this, that this could be baked in no matter if he says 75 or 50. If 75 will consolidate, we won't get hit too bad. If it's 50, we're going to have a nice breakout. We'll break out to newer highs. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about on the SPY. So Tesla's our target. Let's finish up with Tesla first. Bring it back to the 20-day. If we break this here resistance level at 229.86, the next one's going to be here at 233.68. And if that breaks, we'll definitely start to see some momentum, and we can carry this up to 250 to 255. And that's going to be your hard resistance on the 20-day time frame with a 1 hour time frame on the 20-day chart. But I'm a knife catcher. I come in the morning thinking that I'm a bull, and I'm ready to take these knife catches. I've created what I call the beach trade here in the last 3 months, and I could be done and out of here within the first hour of the day and just be happy with the profit that I got, which is basically an average of more than $300 to $1,000. I can scalp the same stock over and over again. For example, like the SPY. SPY came back on Friday morning. We had that Friday dip to the 200 SMA on the 1 hour time frame, and then came in that morning, run this trade up, into these three great soldiers right in here. We had the beautiful run into opening, and then we opened up with that big candle on that hour time frame, and it pulled back and hit that 50, and bam, the rest of the day was just a Hail Mary. She just kept going up and up and up and up, and every one of these candles was bullish. That kept me in that trade on that 1 hour time frame. Now I pull this up to the 1 minute. I'll tell you exactly how I take these trades. You can see that it had a great run off the 200 here on the 1 minute. Bounced up. Then right it open. We had these three soldiers. These are three white soldiers. That's telling me that we're going to have a great day on this trade right into opening. We had this spinning top doji. We had this hammer right into opening. And that's what I look at. I look at the indicators. I get the feel of the market. And this is my beach trade. So I'm in and out of here in 3 minutes. I made over $600 on this trade right here. The first 3 minutes of the day. So she came back and created a pennant flag. And when that pennant flag broke out, I called out the squeeze. We had another three soldiers come in. And eventually, it pulled back and bounced off the 65 EMA. I called out the 51 and jumped into the trade, and it dipped on down, and I added on, and then bam, she went ahead and run on up. So it's all about using the moving averages and looking at the candlesticks and identifying chart patterns. I mean, three black crows was a great trade. And I talk about how to play these crows on a daily basis. We pulled right back to that second crow right here, and I'll draw that trend line in. Right there at 380.95. So definitely the Feds are going to come back. We've had one heck of a run. It got, some people were discouraged. They couldn't believe that we had such a great run on a Friday. They were counting on a little pullback, but I think the earnings kind of spoke for themselves. They got it out of the way. It caused the market to bounce. Tech earnings were sucked. They were no good. I mean, we figured that. We'd known that. We'd known that for a year when they started raising rates that it was going to affect tech. So I've been watching the SPY on a daily basis and trading it almost every day. The spreads on them are just so great. And then Friday, the SPY trade. So this coming week, when I'm looking at Tesla, this is the platform I use, the Tastyworks trading platform. I took the 225, traded it, and I traded the 240 strike. And even the 235 was acceptable. I like to look at the volume. So the 230 right here had 49,000 contracts. The 240 had 27,000. So that's the one I took at the end of the day. Got in at 175 and run it up almost 100%. So, keep a good eye on these stocks. We got the Fed speaker coming out Wednesday. I think the market's going to be okay with it, and we're going to consolidate. And if they do drop it to 50 basis points, we are going to have one heck of a run. That Tesla stock, pull up this 20-day again. We break out of this Darvis box and gain respect of it next week. We could definitely see 250. So that's going to be my target for next week, this 250 area. And if it doesn't, then if the market just says the hell with it and starts to pull back, we'll take it off the 200 SMA. And if that doesn't hold on the 1 hour time frame, I'll run it down here to the bottom of this channel and load up again and run it back up to that 228. And that's it. Hope everybody enjoys this week. Just be cautious. Subscribe and ring that bell, and you'll get my future updates. I'm live on YouTube every day until the end of the year. I'm going to retire pretty soon, and I'll probably change a few things around. And I want to enjoy life a little bit more and travel. Be with my mom a little bit. She's starting to age a little bit. She'd get 85. So with my Tesla profits this year, I was able to refurbish her house, put new floor in it, new roof, new air conditioner, everything, new paint, new appliances. And I just wanted to let her life be a little bit more comfortable at the end of the year. I mean, for the rest of her life, as long as she's living up there in my park on my property. And we'll have a great day. See you next week.